Hey guys, Jeremy Stover back here. I'm going to be doing another tutorial on some Angular stuff. Before I did, what was it? Oh, it was Angular-Google-Maps. It was just a small directed tutorial. Now I'm going to go into something a little bit larger, but I will be moving fairly quickly, so I'll give you some prerequisites that I'm not going to cover, and then we'll get started. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a really quick, easy application in Ionic, which is basically a very nice bridge between PhoneGap and Angular. So obviously Angular can sit on top of PhoneGap, uh, but Ionic gives you really nice, it handles touch way better. It gets your frame rate up really, really high without having to worry about anything. Handles routing in a way that works really well with mobile apps, etc. And it has a whole bunch of different functionality. So it's basically just like an AngularJs slash CSS framework for PhoneGap. And it works beautifully, and we're about to run through. And to be completely honest with you, it doesn't necessarily even have to be in PhoneGap. You can build entire websites with this, but we are not going to be doing that today. We're going to build an Android application, and I'm going to show you how. Woot. So first couple of things you're going to need, I'm just going to list them out here. You have to have npm installed along with grunt. Most likely Bower. I'm not sure what other things I'm going to be pulling in, but let's just say you need Bower. You have to have Cordova plus PhoneGap. And then you need to have the Ionic creator. So it's actually Ionic. Ionic. So basically just a Yeoman generator for Ionic applications. And I'm going to show you how to use that. I am specifically talking about this last one, number 5, the Ionic, which will encapsulate everything else. These are just the tools that we'll be using to make it possible, and I'll show you guys how to build out and send these things to your Android devices. I do not have an iPhone. I am running on a Nexus 5. Or at least not here, I have some in my office, but for now this will work. So first thing you want to do is pull up your Chrome browser, and oh, look at this. This is the best Chrome plugin in the world. It is called Panda. You get Dribble and then Hacker News on the left. It's perfect if you are a web developer slash designer, and again, that's called Panda. You can just like Google search it or something. Oh, and they show you like your Chrome apps and whatever. Okay, back to what we were doing. Is Ionic. It's going to be Digonetto. I don't know how to actually pronounce that, but generator-ionic. And that is github.com/digonetto/generator-ionic. And all you're going to do is come down here and do the npm install-g generator-ionic, which I've already done that, but I'll do it again really quick. Pull up my terminal. Clear. If you can see, I am just in a directory that I created called Ionic Toot. So what I'll do is I'll do npm install-g generator-ionic. Run that, bam, and had a bunch of stuff. I do not have the permissions set up in npm correctly, so I'm just going to run sudo bang bang. I did not type that in correctly. So I did a sudo npm install-g generator ionic. I cannot talk today. But that's going to grab everything we need. It's not really doing anything. It's just checking to make sure I have all the dependencies because I've already installed it once. And then after we're done with that, I've actually already done this. So you're basically just making the directory and then jumping into it. And then we're about to run Ionic in one moment. So now that we're in here, we can run Ionic. Remember, that's like the Yeoman, how to start a generator, and then the name of the generator is Ionic. Bam. You're going to see that I'm going to have to do one more thing. We are not using Sass, or at least I'm not using Sass because I don't really like Ruby that much. Sorry, guys. I know Sass is fantastic. It's just not my favorite thing in the world. Choose no. We are not going to be using any of this other stuff, but with the Ionic Generator, brings in the Cordova project, or project files for the network, splash screen, battery status, etc., etc., etc. I'll just scroll through. Yeah, you guys will see all this when you're done, but we're just going to have the two that it comes with normally, which is the console and device, which later on you'll be able to use to help debug. But that's it. Press enter. We are going to do a, let's say, let's do tabs. No, side menu. Side menu is pretty cool. Or, you know, the user intro. User intro is the only one that I haven't done yet, so I'm going to do that one. Pulling all the stuff, download images, download whatever it needs. And then we'll do a grunt serve. If you remember from before, grunt serve starts a node server with all the required everything. It's going to fail a couple times at the end. I'll just have to do another npm install, or sudo npm install, because my permissions are all jacked. I'll probably cut this out. Okay, and then npm install. Sorry for that. Just make sure I have Cordova, which is the only thing it failed to download. It always fails to download Cordova for some reason. But when I do the npm install again, it runs perfectly fine. After that's all done, bam. All right, now we can do grunt serve. Bam. Do I have anything else running? No. Okay. And for the rest of this tutorial, we are going to be emulating my Nexus 5. So what you can do is, if you go into anything besides console, so actually console will work, any one of these tabs, doesn't really matter, I usually stick with sources, and then click right here, you'll see the little arrow, or wait, no, not right there, crap. I don't remember how to get to that specifically. Oh no, that was it. Okay, I'm not going crazy. Yeah, click the arrow with the lines, and it'll pull up this secondary console / whatever. And there's an emulation tab in there, and this is only for Google Chrome. And then you can select any one of a bunch of different devices, and I believe it does its best to find the rendering engine, or to match the rendering engine. But what it really does is get the screen size and get the touch controls correct. So what we do is drop that back down. And this is, let's see, this is just a little bit bigger than my actual Nexus screen size. So as you can see, this is what's generated with the user intro template. You can skip this and next, start my app, bam. Okay, so that's honestly, like, if you remember anything or if you know anything about Angular after that, it's really easy to get started. But we're gonna create an actual page, or a couple pages, and use a couple of their elements throughout. So one thing that after this intro. So what you want to do is go to ionicframework.com and /docs. All right, we're going to stick inside of the CSS components for now, but they have like the CSS components, the JavaScript components, and then all this other cool stuff. But we're going to stick in here because this is enough to keep you busy if you're trying or trying to learn everything. But this is honestly friggin' awesome. Like, if you guys can see the phone, I'm sure you can see the phone, but it basically, as you're scrolling through, it changes the demo that's inside of the phone. It's beautiful. So first thing we're going to need to do is let's jump into Sublime Text. Let's go to project, add folder to project. Jump back, I was working on another project, which Seems to be all I do these days. And I called that Ionic toot, which is up here. There we go. Add that one to the add that one to the project. All right, so we're going to kill this. Don't save. All right, so right now we're going to jump into. All right, let's just take a look at how Ionic builds this. So the way that PhoneGap works is it needs a www directory, and then it compiles this www directory into the actual platform. So that reminds me, I need to add platforms, but we'll do that in a second. But Angular kind of likes to sit inside of an app directory, so it can have it index and have it do all of its other things. So as you can see, this is much larger than this www. So it compiles all of this whenever you actually run put it through Cordova. It'll compile it all to this, and then Cordova will compile from here. So it just simplifies things, mashes it all together. But from here, we can take a look at our template. We have the intro, and it's basically just using what? Slides. Yeah, so we have the navigation, and then slide. Yeah. So 3 slides, as we saw. I'm sure. Let's create another one really quick, just to make sure. Let's create 2. Scoop. Scoop. Save that out. That's not where we're going to go. Ionic 2. Awesome. Questions? Any questions? Poop. Any questions? Scoop. Perfect. As you remember, we were using grunt with fly reload, so everything just auto-populates, or auto-refreshes, which is freaking awesome. Okay, so let's jump into... Oh, wait. Something's wrong. Okay, let's see what we did. I already borked it. Start using my app. Oh, there we go. How many are there? 4? I added 2. Next. That's weird. Yeah, okay, whatever, that's fine. Okay, perfect. We get a little weird bug here where you can't hit next. But, start using my app next. Oh, there we go, not equal 4. Meeting, okay, that was fine. Next, start using my app, okay. All right, that was easy. All right, like I said, this is my first time using the slides also, so we're just gonna move on. Let's grab main.html. Just get a space there. All right, so we are going to get rid of this entire button. Just gonna hide it really quick. So if you remember what I was saying earlier, when Ionic our Ionic handles routing, and it handles views and everything like that, so it can optimize it for each phone. And this is how it does it. You basically just define your views here, and it places them all absolutely on the page, and then it handles the JavaScript and CSS to move everything around really sexy. So what kind of things do we want in our app, guys? Let's jump in here, and let's do cards. Cards are always sexy. So we're going to... Here we go. This one is one of my favorites. Copy, paste, but it's not going to actually do anything because there are no images. Well, that wasn't expected. 3 slides, skip intro. Okay, so it's not going to show anything. We need to get some images in there, but I know exactly what we're building. We're going to build a Dribble viewer. So if you go to Dibble API, so a bunch of different Angular tutorials use the Dibble API, and it is fantastic. Like, it is really easy to use. So we are going to just, let's grab the popular tag. I'll give you the most shots everyone. Shots popular? Simple bits. No, I could just, find. There we go. Okay, shouts popular. I passed by it already and just ignored it. All right, so we are going to jump to our scripts, controllers, and Ionic does things not the really normal way. You can very obviously create new controllers and things like that, or create a new controller file. I'm not doing that right now. I'm just going to stick with the way that Ionic does it, which is declare all the controllers in one thingamajig. So right now we have, all right, so this is the intro controller. Okay, yeah, it's right in front of my face. And this is actually where we're going to be pulling in some stuff. So this is really meant for a service, so disregard my bad practice. I'm just trying to get things into the page. So we're going to pull in HTTP and Q. This is a very, very good instance of, or this is going to be good practice in hitting APIs, and I'll show you some of the better ways to do that. So state got good. This is, we don't need this anymore. In fact, we're going to exit out. It's going to create an init function that does nothing right now, and we will call that right at the bottom of this. So scope.get images equals function. I'm not really going to go into how promises work, but I will be using a promise for this function. So we're going to do var defer equals cache q dot defer, which is a function, and we're going to return defer dot promise, which is not a function, it is an object, which I guess an object technically is a function also. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do http.jsonp. Okay, so the Dibble API is very, very, very new, and it has a lot of issues with cross-origin requests. So one way to get around that is to do JSON with padding. So you're sending these things back and forth with this padded JSON file, so it doesn't freak out when you're sending it JavaScript, because a lot of web security, et cetera, doesn't like when you send JavaScript files, especially if it hasn't been built to accept cross-origin. So JSONP is the only way to handle that, and we're going to throw this. Oh crap! It's not right. We're going to throw that in there. So http.jsonp, the address is that, and we need to change or add question mark callback equals JSONP. Oh wait, JSON underscore callback. I believe that is it. And then what we can do is wrap this in success, which is a function with one response. It doesn't have any status or anything like that, I don't believe, unless I'm going crazy. And then we will do for.resolve res, just so we can decide what to do with that later. What this will do is it passes this object, and then once this resolves itself, res gets passed in through that promise, which is going to happen inside the init. I'll show you guys how it works in a second. And if there is an error, function, this is definitely getting complicated, but whatever. Defer.reject. I believe that's it. And then this is going to take status and code, or you can call it error. I always just pass in the status though. Status. Okay. And we'll see how. I'll change that to popular. Yeah, you spell popular? Popular. Yes. Okay, so right off the bat, right when this thing gets called, we're going to hit scope.get images. Okay, this is where the actual promise comes in. This promise object has a .then, which will call this callback function when it successfully resolves. And then, so we'll do success, and then it also takes another, it actually takes two more functions, but I never use the third. And this one is error, and this one also takes a status. So what we're going to do is just for shits and gigs, we're going to do console.log res and images, and then we will change this. Log error status. Okay, that is the easiest way to do that. Let's see what happens. We're probably going to get some massive error, which is fun. Yeah, what does the error say? Console. Oh, that was nothing. Oh, no, we got it. It worked. Sweet. First try. All right, these are just the 404s for these images, which we're about to fix. No, back into console. Okay, so let's take a look at this object. It's very simple. We can do pagination with it, so we can pass in another query for the page. Since this is only one, it's going to have 15 shots, and each one of those shots has a couple of different things. It has the description, the height of the base image, the image URL, and then I believe a smaller version of the image, and then it also has a player. So the player is one thing that we're really interested in. The avatar URL, which is an image for the avatar, which we'll put right there. And then the avatar name and where they are, I guess. Or we could do time. I'll probably just do their name and where they're from. Or their URL, sure. We'll do their username and their URL along with their image. So hopefully I'm not copywriting anybody here. We're just going to pull in some awesome stuff, and you guys will see their names, obviously, so we're good. Okay, so now that that's created, or now that we get that, you're sitting, let's comment that out really quick. Scope.imageList equals response. And then if this is the case, we're going to do scope.page error equals status. Okay, so really simple stuff. What we're going to do over here is item avatar, list card. Yes. Okay, so what we're going to do is jump into data-ng-repeat equals image in image list. This HTML is all janky. HTML beautifier. Bam. Done. Let's jump that over a little bit. Makes me happy. Bam. Okay. We are good. Let's go up to. So we're going to name this to so now you're going to be able to see why there's like a million Dribble viewers, because we're literally just about done. Alright. So let's see what that image looks like. Oh, where did it go? Oh, I'm not console logging it anymore. Oops. So what was it called? It was ng. I'm going to do ng source right there. I believe that's the correct syntax. We're about to find out. I'm going to be image dot. I don't remember what the hell it's called. Let's inspect that element. All right, let's go to the source really quick. Find out. Let's go right here. Refresh the page. Bam. Breakpoint. Let's just go into our console. Yes. All right. So for each shot. Oh no, it would be crap. No, let's go back into controllers and image list equals res dot shots. Oh, I'm gonna have that breakpoint again. Actually, no, not. Okay, so let's do the image underscore 400 underscore URL. Perfect. So it would be main controller image dot image underscore 400 underscore URL, right? Yep. Okay, so that'll do that. And actually, that's the that's the wrong place. That would be way too big. X. This is going to go here. Okay, and then the source for this one is the avatar. So it'd be image.player.avatar underscore URL. Image.player.underscore URL. Okay, let's see what happens. Let's get rid of this breakpoint. And we should get something semi-usable. Bam. Right off the bat, guys, how do you think about that? The avatar isn't loading for some reason. We're about to find out why. And also, some of these are either still downloading or they're just not going to play. But you see, we have some images. I'm not 100% sure why the rest of them are downloading. But still looks pretty darn good, and we literally have done almost nothing. All right, so image.player.avatar underscore URL. I'm going to add that console log back in there so I don't have to constantly be checking. Fresh. Let's just print out the console. Let's see what else failed to load. It's like the same ones are failing to load every time. Maybe because they don't have image 400. Let's find out. What is that? 012. Have an image underscore 400. It does not. Okay, so maybe we should just always use the image underscore URL. That's probably safer. I don't remember why I did the image underscore 400. I think it was smaller. But just to be safe, let's do this one always. And we get GIFs now. So all of these have that. Oh, that looks so good, and it's so slow. Which is good. We expect GIFs to be slow when you are playing a million of them at once. So, okay, so we're done there. We need to figure out why the player's URL isn't, our player's avatar isn't working. So let's do shot0. So this is the object that the DOM is looking at, and be image.player.avatar underscore URL. Image.player. That's why. Avatar. Thanks for telling me, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, I really do. Alright, so now we have all of their avatars in here. It's starting to look pretty darn good already. Thank you, Ionic, for helping us make things look sexy. So we need to do h2 to image.player. What is it, username? I don't remember. Shots 0 player dot username and dot dot username, and we'll do their location since you won't be able to click on links from here anyways. So image dot player dot location. Jump in, Creative Dash, San Francisco, Axel Herman, Berlin, Fraser Davidson from London, UK. Hopefully I'm not going too fast for you guys. I'm sure you can pause it and figure something out. Let's do one more thing. I know because when I built my first few apps, I was trying to learn how to do this thing, and it took me a minute. So the next in the list, man, this looks really good so far. And you'll be surprised. I'll record a video and add it onto the end of this of how it runs on a phone. With the big images, it's a little laggy, but what are you going to do? I'm sure if you spent some time to disable the GIFs until you selected them, it would run much faster. But see, after that loaded all the way, it looks awesome. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to change the bar that we have here. So I believe that's this image item icon left assertive. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to ditch that. We're going to do energize, and this one's going to be bar. What bar? I don't remember what it's called. Can't remember what it's called. Footer. Yeah. So bar dash footer, bar dash balance, whatever. Okay. So we're going to do bar dash balance, I believe. So bar dash. What the other ones are off the top of my head. Oh, there we go. Okay. So let's do royal. Bar dash royal. Let's see what happens on a little application. Bam. So pretty friggin' awesome. Again, haven't done anything. Go back to the images. So it still looks pretty darn good, and you can switch out everything. I took out the assertive, and I'll put it back in just so you can see why. Oh, no, never mind. So their CSS is a little wonky. It's kind of hard to get the hang of. So if we were to add assertive, actually this isn't going to do it either. This will maybe make the, yeah, it'll make the little music bar red. So as you saw in their little explanation, assertive is their red color, energized is the yellow, which is what I was shooting for, because back into hours. What's one more one? Isn't it? Oh, energized. Energized. Bam. So you get that awesome yellow with the purple. It's very stylish. I know. I'm awesome. Okay, so I have username, avatar, place of origin, the image, and then, you know what? Let's add something here. Let's do something here. Let's visit. I have no idea what this is going to do. This might take them to a browser. Let's find out. And that's going to be ahref. Yeah. data-ng-href. I believe you can do that. Who the hell knows? We're about to find out. And let's grab image 0 dot. The question is, do we do the description there, or do we add the URL or the link to it? You know what? Let's do the URL. Image.url. And let's see what that happens, or what happens there. So do that. It does absolutely. Oh no, it actually connected. Sweet. Okay, so this is going to open up a new browser. Or actually, let's do that. Let's do. If you want your images to open up new tabs, you have to do target equals. I think it's underscore blank. So, bam, yeah, opens up a new tab. Friggin' awesome. And this one isn't mobile. Pull up another one. This one's from the actual Herman. This one's gorgeous. I was looking at it earlier today. And it's friggin' beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. Let me like that. Bam. Okay, perfect. All right. What else is there? I mean, honestly, if you guys take a look through the Ionic components, like they have a bunch of stuff. I would show you one of my projects, but it's kind of, I'm keeping on the down low, why I learned how to use this framework in the first place. But it's awesome, it's beautiful, and it works really well on iOS and everything else. But I think that's it. Let me show you guys how to compile it to the platforms. I don't know if I have any platforms installed right now, but let's do grunt Cordova. It's really simple. This is all you have to do, and this is in the base of your application. And it's going to yell at me because I don't have any things installed. No platforms out of this project. Yeah. So we're going to do Cordova platform. You can see it. It tells you what you have to do up here. The Cordova platform, add Android, and you can do that with iOS, and I believe Ionic also works really well with Windows 8. Anything else that Cordova supports, Ionic is really weird on, like friggin' BlackBerry. Like, it's not going to look good on the BlackBerry probably. You're more than welcome to try and report it to the Ionic team, and they'll take a look at it. But we're going to add that platform really quick. It's going to download all the dependencies, I believe, or just start up the project. Yeah, that's it. And then now we can do grunt Cordova. And building everything, it's compiling all the stuff that I talked to you about earlier. Everything that was in the app folder is going into the www folder, all compiled and sexy. And there's no images built into the application, aside from the starter template one. But after it does this, it's going to spit out an APK, which you can directly load onto your Android. And I'll show you how I handle all my APKs. So it's really easy. You don't even have to plug it in. Actually, I'll just tell you right now. So since I have Google Drive syncing between my computer and my phone, I can just jump in. Let's create documents. Whoops. Where am I at? Oh, GitHub. All right, so we are on Ionic 2. Since I have Google Drive synced between my phone and my computer, I basically just drop the APK into a Google Drive folder, download it onto my phone, and then just install it from there. You just have to make sure that you can load APKs that aren't signed, which is really simple. You don't even have to go into developer mode for it, or developer mode. Okay, so after you run grunt Cordova, you can jump into platforms, Android, and then ant-build. And what you're going to see is a bunch of APKs. I always go for the debug, or the name of your project, -debug-unaligned.apk. And if you drop that onto, which I'm not even going to show you my drive folder, but you drop that into your phone somehow, however you choose to do it, Google Drive, Dropbox, whatever, and then you can directly load it onto your Android device, whether it's a tablet, phone, whatever, it doesn't matter, it'll work. And then we'll run from there. But that is the end of the tutorial. Again, like I said, I'm going to take a video of the application running on my phone, and I'll append that to the end. But so now, I believe that's it. Let me look through everything really quick. Yeah, that's it. I will be posting all the links that you guys need to get started in the description of the YouTube video. And honestly, if you guys have any questions at all, I would love to answer them in the comments. I've actually just been going at it, answering the questions from my last video, and I'm loving it because people are asking me really good questions. But please remember to subscribe so I know you love my videos, and I'll make sure to keep on making them. All right, thanks, guys. Okay, guys. So this is the application running on my Android. I will close it out and then pick it back up. It is Ionic Toot right there. Yep, Ionic Toot. So I did a couple things. We were getting some serious lag because there's so many friggin' GIFs. Like, these are like 6 megabyte a piece images. So what I did was I added an active field to each one of the images, and if it is a GIF and it is active, then it shows the actual playing GIF. And then I saw that there was a teaser URL, and if it's not active, it plays that teaser URL. So if we go back and we select this one, you can see that it changed. It switched over from non-playing to playing, and then this one stops playing. Let me tap this one again. Bam, starts playing, and this one up here stops. For some really weird reason, this one up here completely breaks. Like the I have no idea why. It should be contained and like it should be shrunk down to the correct size. You tap it and it like blows up, and you can see like there's a little sliver of the animation right there, and it just pops up. But regardless, it gets us running much faster, and there's a couple graphical bugs. I'm sure if you played around with the whole playing not playing thing, because I literally did it in the 2 minutes that it took for me to like pull out my camcorder. But no, other than that, it runs friggin' fantastically. I mean, this should really be done in portrait, but you can see everything runs beautifully. And a little tip: if you want the images to all download while you're looking at one, so let's say you're looking at one like at the very top, and you want one to download that is like right here, like 4 images down, instead of doing an ngIf, do the ng show and hide. And the reason why is because the ngIf actually deletes it from the DOM. It won't even load the image until that ngIf becomes true, and then it'll re-download the image that was in that image tag. If you do ng hide, then it still downloads the image, it just hides it from the CSS. So as you're like loading the images up here, because all these, like the image teasers, they load really quickly. It's the GIFs that are the big problem. So if you're viewing the GIF up here, and you're like, oh, that looks pretty cool, I like that a lot, it's still downloading the stuff like that is down here. Like it's still downloading all of it. So if we go to one that's at the very bottom of the page, this isn't the very bottom, but it's pretty darn close. So this is one that I haven't opened yet, and you can see it's a little blurry. That teaser is just a little bit blurry, which is, I guess, the point. Pop it up, and it doesn't load at all. There's no loading time because it's already downloaded completely. So it just immediately just plays up the GIF. With those changes, it runs really fast. Without it, it just runs dirt slow. Like when it's playing all the GIFs, it's just like, oh, it's so bad. But yeah, you can see the GIFs look beautiful. Everything looks fantastic. There's a lot of stuff. I'm assuming there's some sort of football championship going on. I'm not a sports guy at all. But yeah, that's about it. Alright, I'm going to throw this into the video, and that's about it. Let's go, let's close this out. Let's do it from the very beginning just to see what it all looks like all together. So, thank you for choosing the awesome app, blah blah blah. Oh, crap. The phone is moving with it, so it's not letting me scroll. Using awesome, whatever, be awesome. Okay, that's cool. Everything is really fluid. Ionic handles all of this. If I'm not mistaken, these are all absolutely positioned divs, so they can just move around really easily without having to mess around with DOM structure. So let's go to start using my app. I can't see where I'm clicking. There we go. Bam. And it all loads up super quick. So do that. It's still going to be a little slow. Oh no, it just loaded up. It's perfect. And if we go to this next one, I wonder if it's going to be loaded up yet. Yeah, completely loaded up. It's so fast. Like this is the way to do it, guys. All right, I'm done. That's another 4 minutes added onto this like 40-minute video. Peace.